I don't know how to produce drama. And these people do. And they have extraordinary imaginations that they bring to it. I mean, Stephen has this wonderful imagination, so why not let him add his imagination to the mix? And then you hire these brilliant actors, Alexander Draymond, Matthew McFadden, Emily Cox. They bring all their skills to it. And I think, you know, the best thing I can do is to stand back and let them do it. The story is epic. The story is the making of England, and that is a huge story. I mean, it's a story of a war that goes on for some 40, 50 years with all sorts of characters, kings and warlords. Yes, that's epic, but in every book there is, if you like, a small story, and the small story is what the reader, I think, latches onto. In many ways, the small story is not the making of, it's not the making of England, it's can Uhtred get his fortress back. The United England is Alfred's dream, and there would never have been an England without Alfred, although he didn't live to see the dream come true. But what I wanted was for him to need Uhtred, but not approve of Uhtred, and for Uhtred to actually admire Alfred and never to like him. There's so much we don't know. So this gives, certainly an historical novelist, and I hope it gave Stephen as well, a huge amount of freedom. You know, keep it vaguely true to what was going on, but because we don't know what was going on. What we do know is we know that there were Saxons and they were fighting against Danes and they're fighting against Norsemen, and we know that there was a competition between Christianity and paganism, and we know that in this year Chester fell to the English, and in this year Derby and Leicester fell. But that's all we know. The rest of it, how it happened, make it up. It's not taught in schools. The only thing that seems to me that is taught in schools is that King Alfred was a very bad cake maker. And that's it. You know, they sort of skip from, okay, the Roman invasion, Veni Vidi Vici, then you get Alfred being a bad baker, and then suddenly it's 1066. And that's it. And it just seems to me a story worth telling, that this is where our nation came from. This is where England comes from. And this is the story of England's making. I think that historical novels are a gateway to history. I mean, I discovered my love of history through reading Hornblower. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using the drama of history to get people interested in history. And not everyone's going to make that jump, and nor do they need to, nor should they. But at least if people read this series, they will, at the end of it, have an idea which they didn't have before about where their country came from. And that's not a bad thing.